Good evening, all. This is Eric Seitz of Wicked Finds on YouTube, eBay, and our soon-to-be website. This is going to be the first more of a test video of the kind of format that I'll be using when posting to our YouTube. If it sounds like I'm pausing and thinking a lot, it's because I'm doing this really from the top of my head. I have a couple things I'm thinking of talking about, but I'll see what I can do. What I've planned is that maybe every week or so, I'll take out my best finds of the week, stuff that's valuable, interesting, historical, or what I think is just cool. I'll tell you what I paid for it. I'll tell you what I think I can get for it, and any information that I can find. Right now, this is just a small assortment of things that I've collected. I have much more in the basement, but I don't have time to bring it all out. And we'll see how this goes. First of all, one of the things I'm very interested in, which I'm very excited to find, is this vintage Elgin watch service manual. It's made by Elgin, and these are given out to watchmakers. This particular one, don't know if this can focus in, but it's from 1958. And the interesting thing is, these extra papers, these are updates actually given out. Hang on, let me see if I can. These are updates given out by the Elgin National Watch Company. These are pretty much more updated versions of how to fix watches, maybe given in the 60s, I think. But whoever owned this didn't actually replace the pages, he just stuck them in there. This is something I'm probably going to keep, because I do have an interest in watches, and this is probably going to help me quite a bit if I can ever get into it. That being said, hang on, let me switch hands here. Quite unprofessional, I know. This, actually my dad bought this. This is a Waltham. Don't know if it can focus. No, it's not focusing. But this is a Waltham, an antique Waltham watch from about 1880. It's in pretty good shape. There's a bit of wear right there. I'm sure you can see. It's not working, but I do plan on doing some work to it. There's no crystal, but the dial's in pretty good shape. Fortunately, I wish I could show you more, but this camera isn't doing too well. It's not a video camera, this is my picture camera. That's all I have. Very unprofessional, I know. One of the interesting things, I go to a lot of auctions, and at the auctions, they have beer flats of just stuff. You can have jewelry, knives, ammunition, shells, decorative, collectibles. And in one of the things I bought, there are two of these cans of World's Fair beer from about 1980 something. Hang on, 1982. Unopened, with the stuff still inside. Probably not worth a whole lot, but I don't know. I think someone might give me $10 for them just to put them on the shelf. This is one of my pieces I bought when I was really young. This is an Imperial glass candle holder, milk glass. It's in very good shape. Actually, I'd say it's in perfect shape. There's no cracks or dings. The mark is right in the center, but I doubt you can see it with this camera. But I bought this 7 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago. At a yard sale. And I bought it because my mom liked it. And I got it for her. Well, turns out she doesn't like it. She thinks it's ugly. But that's still 15, 20 bucks right there, and I think I only paid like $3 for it. So that one's probably going on eBay. This one I bought at the auction. This is a weighted silver cake plate. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it says sterling weighted by Ducklin. This was made probably around the 50s, and it's in perfect shape. No cracks in the glass, no dents. There's a few dings on the silver, but this one was also for my mom, and of course she likes it. So that one's probably not going to be sold, but I only paid $10 for it, and you know, that's maybe about 25 bucks at a flea market. You know, it's a nice piece. And what's cool about it is that this top piece unscrews so it can be put in the dishwasher. And this is just a candlestick with like a little nub of plastic right there with threading, so you can screw that in. I actually did find this on eBay. They're asking $40 for it, but I don't think they sold it. But regardless, it is probably not going to be sold. And let me just screw this back in. Another thing that I kind of bought on a guess. This is an Art Deco clock, electric clock, and light. And what you do, you'd screw the light in there, and on the front, it would shine through on either side and kind of act as like a dim, maybe hall light, you know, something just to leave on during the night so you can kind of see. It's not very bright. On the back, it says, I don't know if you can read this, Stola lamps, self-starting. It does work, but right now it's kind of in storage. I do like it though. I think I paid $15 for it. It's all brass. I mean, it's nice. There's a bit of corrosion on top. I haven't tried to get that out, but for what I've seen, that's about $30. Don't know if I'm going to sell it though. And this one, I don't want to touch that. This one, my dad bought. And at first, I didn't quite know what it was. A soup tureen. Something. It's got a handle. And I don't think you can quite see it, but all around there are leaves and flowers. It's white porcelain. It's ironstone china. Don't think you can quite see that. But it's ironstone china made in England. This is about 100 years old. Do you know what this is? I do, but I'm not going to tell you. At least, not yet. And this is my little collection of silver. When I bought this case, it was all filled of mostly costume. It was all filled of what I thought was just costume. I bought this at the auction. I bought this at an auction for $5. And inside of it, besides the costume, were these two rings. These are sterling silver. I sold the costume jewelry to a lady I know for, I think, about $15. There's a whole bunch of small earrings, very thin necklaces, rings. But I sold all of her the costume, and I decided to take this and use it for my sterling. This is all of the sterling scrap I have so far. I did have a lot more, but I sold that off not too long ago to pay for some bills. But what I have in here, this section is for the solid stuff. Rings, I have a cufflink, sterling cufflink. I only have one. If I had the other, I'd sell this as a pair, but since I only have one, it's probably just worth it in scrap. Here, this is a lighter case, no lighter, probably from the 1930s, 20s and 30s. It is silver. It's not marked silver, but I have tested it. It's not in the greatest shape, but as you can see right there, there's a hole, and it's all dinged up and stuff. If this was in better shape, I'd keep it for myself, but right now it's just worth it in scrap. Which is quite sad, because all along here it's engraved. I don't know if you can tell. But this one came in one of those beer flat lots. And that was a nice little surprise. That's probably $20 in silver right there. Hang on, let me put it back. This one was probably a find that made my day. I got this not too long ago in a collection of watches at an auction house I don't usually go to because it's usually freakishly expensive. This is an antique British pocket watch, and this camera sucks because you can't see any detail, but it's all engraved all along here and on the front. There's a hallmark there. I know you can't see it, but there is the one there. And what's special about this one, if I can get it open with one hand, is that it's for a key wound. It's for a key wound pocket watch. There are hallmarks inside there. I know you can't read them. But I was able to date this to 1865. It was made... I can't remember what the hallmark, what the SA office was. I think it was Waterford or something like that. But it did date to about 1865 or 1864, somewhere around there. It's sterling silver, and there are some dents and some dings and some things wrong, but if I can find a movement for this, I might just put it in there and keep it for myself in my own collection. For the lot of watches, I paid $5, and I've already probably made $100 on that, and I still have more to go. So, and the rest of the stuff in here is, this is just broken stuff. These are just, this is just a pin, sterling pin. I actually found this in the trash. I don't really know what it is. On the bottom of this, it says machine gun. I don't really know when it's from. It says sterling on the back, but I haven't tested it because I don't want to mess with it. I know you probably can't see that many details, but if anyone could maybe help identifying what this is, that would be nice, because right now it's probably just $15 worth of silver until I can figure out what it is. This is just more scrap. This is an old earring that's bent. Hands cramping. This one's pretty cool. I got this at the same place as this. Actually, I think it came with that. Or it came with another clock. But what this is like a display. Like you put this on the shelf, and right there it says Wells, and I'm assuming that's some sort of like maybe lubricant or a clock repair place. And I know it's kind of fuzzy on the side because it's dirty, but it's an exploded view of a pocket watch. See, you got the face there. We'll zoom. You got the face. You got all the parts inside there. And it's in a big block of lucite. This is probably from the 60s. It says made in England on the bottom, too. I don't know really what it's worth, but this thing makes a heck of a paperweight. And I might just end up keeping this one for myself, because I do collect watch stuff, and I think it's cool. I haven't seen another one of these in a long time. The last one I saw was maybe this big, and it just had a movement in it. And that was a Bulova, and that one went for $65 at an auction I went to. So I don't know. I'll have to do more looking. This one. I bought this at a yard sale, and the reason I bought it was because it still has a sticker on it. I know you can't read it, but it says, I'm trying to read it past the camera, it's a California Pottery Genuine Original, plus some other stuff, but that's not important. I'd say it's probably Art Deco, 30s, maybe 40s, maybe 50s, I don't know. It's black, and all of this here, if you run your finger on it, you can feel the waviness that's on here. That is pretty cool, I think. I really like this one. This one's been sitting on my shelf for a while. The bottom, you can see the bottom, if I could get it properly. You see how it's all kind of marred up and kind of dirty? On the bottom it says 467 USA. I don't know what that means. But this is actually a good sign. This means that this piece has been around for a long time. And it's been moved around, scooted on shelves, placed around places, probably used for enough time to dirty that up. That's a good sign. But other than that, there's no cracks, no chips, and that is just a very handsome vase. I'm in my backyard right now. This is my backyard, and it's quite peaceful. Usually the dogs are out here barking, but they're napping inside. Oh, last thing. This one is pretty cool. This is an vintage walking stick. And what's cool about it is this is silver on the tip. And all of this is silver. And it's stamped sterling on the bottom, but I know this camera won't pick it up, so I won't even try. It is kind of worn. The father of mine thinks that this is probably hazel. Probably hazelnut. It's a nice walking stick. Probably around from the 30s, 40s. It's definitely been used. There are the neighbors. But I paid $12 for it in an auction. I think I can probably get 30 at a flea market. Or I might just keep it, restore it, refinish it, maybe shine up the silver. I don't know. Nope. That's all I have to show you. I have to get going now. The neighbors are home, if you can hear. Anyway, thanks for looking, and have a good